What's up, family? Trail here, and boy, do we have a major blow to our Social Security recipients. We just received damning information from the Congressional Budget Office, and well, it's not looking good for our seniors and Social Security recipients. In fact, it's pretty bad, guys. It's pretty bad. They just released the long-term projections for Social Security, and I want to show you guys the information. Now, in addition to that, we have one state that is in a state of emergency, and now they are calling on the federal government to step in and provide some assistance. And last but not least, President Biden has finally made a commitment to do something about the illegal crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border. But the real question is, will he be able to implement them before he leaves office? He only has like 2 years, right? But anyways, hey, before we get started, you guys already know what to do. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, as well as hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Well, guys, the United States is in an emergency. Yes, we do have a latest report that is saying that 8 out of 10 people say that 2023 will be a year of economic difficulty. Yes, guys, it says that 8 in 10 U.S. adults believe that 2023 will be the year of economic difficulty, with higher taxes and a growing budget deficit, according to a new poll. The Gallup poll that was released on Tuesday found that 79% of respondents believe that this year will be economically difficult, while only 21% believe it will be a year of economic prosperity. More than 80% expect higher taxes, and 65% believe that prices will rise at a high rate. Just more than half said that they expect unemployment will continue to rise, but 46% said that they believe that this year will be a year of full of or rising employment. Yes, guys, pollsters found across the board that Democrats were more optimistic about the future than Republicans, which Gallup said is a typical phenomenon based on the party of the sitting president. Almost 70% of Democrats expect full or rising employment, while only 23% of Republicans do so as well. Now, more than half of the Democrats expect the stock market to rise and prices to rise at a reasonable rate, but less than 20% of Republicans said the same. But anyways, guys, this particular latest report by Gallup shows us the disparity among Americans, in which it seems like majority of Americans believe that this year is going to be very tough. Yes, guys, I agree with that. It is going to be very tough for some individuals. Anyways, guys, we do know that the recession is coming, or either it's already here, as we enter into the first month of the year, in which many economists are saying that, yes, we are pretty much headed towards a recession. Now, the good news is, which is not necessarily good news, is that recessions typically don't last that long, guys. Typically, according to the latest data, shows us that recessions typically last anywhere between 6 and 13 months. So anyways, guys, if we take an average of that, we don't necessarily see this recession lasting more than about 8 to 9 months. So if we could just get through half of this year, I think we will be on the better side of this particular recession. That is just my opinion. But anyways, guys, you definitely need to prepare, because things are continuously getting worse and worse, and we're still dealing from the effects of the pandemic COVID-19. Moving on, guys, we also see that Amazon, the largest corporation out there, they are pretty much saying that they are going to be laying off 18,000 jobs as they continue to cut costs during this recession. Amazon plans to cut more than 18,000 jobs, which is the largest number in the firm's history, as it battles to save costs and money. The online giant, which employs 1.5 million people globally, did not say which countries the job cuts will hit, but they did say that it would include Europe. So anyways, guys, we are also seeing companies like Tesla. They said that they will be conducting a fresh round of layoffs this quarter, the first quarter of the year. And then we also see companies like Salesforce. They have also said yesterday that they are also going to be cutting their workforce by 10% after they admit that they hired too many people during the pandemic. And we also seen other companies like Target as well as Apple. They are also laying off people as well, guys. So a lot of different companies, especially those tech jobs, are laying off more individuals than everyone else. So anyways, guys, this will actually infuse the growing rate of the recession. So anyways, guys, hopefully we can get out of this recession very quickly and things can get back to some form of normalcy. But anyways, guys, we do have a little bit of news from California in which Governor Gavin Newsom is proclaiming a state of emergency. Yes, guys, we know that the huge global storm, the winter storm from the west, is headed towards California, or already in California, bringing storms as well as crazy amounts of flooding. And now the governor is saying that, look, we are in a state of emergency and we need the federal government to send in some troops to give us some assistance. Yes, it says that working to protect Californians from the incoming winter storms. Governor Gavin Newsom said a couple of days ago that they are in a state of emergency throughout California to support the ongoing response to recent winter storms. Now, the emergency proclamation supports emergency relief efforts, including authorizing the mobilization of the California National Guard to support disaster response, directing Caltrans to request immediate assistance through the Federal Highway Administration's Emergency Relief Program to support highway repairs and other support for local response and recovery efforts. So again, guys, like I said, California is in a state of emergency and they are now mobilizing their troops to help the American people in California as these winter storms continue to drop torrential rain in the California area. So again, guys, if you don't live in California, you definitely want to keep them in our prayers because so far we have had at least 2 people die because of these winter storms. So anyways, guys, we will continue to pray for them and their families as well as all of those in California, as this is one of the major storms that could hit anywhere in the United States, and it is bringing a lot of flooding to California, which they are not prepared to deal with, guys. So anyways, guys, moving on, we do have a bit of good news in regards to President Biden, which recently he said that he was going to be making a trip down south to the U.S.-Mexico border because he wanted to see firsthand with his own eyes exactly what is going on with the immigrants crossing over the U.S.-Mexico border, in which come yesterday, guys, yes, President Biden and the administration has announced of some new border enforcement measures that they are going to be taking in regards to the illegal migrants that are crossing over the border. Now, it says right here that the United States Homeland Security Department announced new border enforcement measures on Thursday, saying it would establish a new parole processes for Cubans, Haitians, and Nicaraguans. Yes, the steps announced Thursday were aimed at limiting irregular migration and creating orderly processes for people fleeing humanitarian crisis to lawfully come to the United States, according to the Department Homeland Security. Now, it says that a record number of migrants and asylum seekers arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border have created humanitarian crisis, logistical headaches, and a political nightmare for President Biden from nearly the start of his presidency. And now they are wanting to finally do something about it 2 years later, saying that, look, there will be some exceptions, though the specifics are still unclear. They also announced that the launch of a new process through Customs and Border Protection app that will allow migrants to schedule a time to meet with officials at a legal port of entry. Now, Biden will make his first visit to the border of El Paso, Texas, this coming Sunday, ahead of his trip directly to Mexico. It is notable that Biden himself has chosen to announce the new border tactics on Thursday before his visit to Mexico, which is obviously a strategic play. But the news comes after the United States border officials encountered an average of more than 8,000 border crossings every single day in the month of December, according to one senior administration official. So again, guys, like I said before in the previous video, this is a huge issue because of these migrants trying to cross over. And looking at this number right here, guys, 8,000 8,000 migrants are crossing over daily just in the month of December. And it will probably get worse and worse and worse if the Biden administration does not try to tackle this head on and do something about it. And to be honest, guys, they have pretty much waited too long to do something about it. Here we are now facing 8,000 migrants per day. I mean, guys, that is pretty much 8 times 30 days a month. That is a crazy amount of people crossing over into the United States. And where are these people going to go, guys? Because they don't have any money. They don't have a place to go. We don't have the resources to take care of these people. Guys, it is getting worse and they need to do something about it. They need to get this under control, because if they don't, we will probably have even 10,000 up to 15,000 migrants per day. So anyways, guys, like I said, this new order has just came out on Thursday, and President Biden is going to be visiting Mexico border on this coming Sunday. So hopefully they will figure out exactly what we can do to get what processes in place to prevent this from happening in the future. But anyways, guys, moving on, we do have some dire information in regards to our Social Security recipients, and that is because we recently heard from this particular report that is saying that Social Security benefits are losing about 40% of their buying power. We already know that inflation has gone up to pretty much close to 9 and 10%, but we didn't necessarily equate that to the buying power of our Social Security recipients. And it says right here, guys, that they are losing around 40%. Guys, that is pretty much like you working your corporate job, getting a pay cut of 40% of the amount of money that you get from your job. This is insane. But it says right here that rising inflation erodes Social Security purchasing power. And yes, Social Security benefits have lost 40% of their buying power since the year of 2000, according to an ongoing study from the Senior Citizens League, a nonpartisan consumer group. Now, this particular group, policy analyst Mary Johnson, who conducted the research, explained that the loss of purchasing power means that retirees can't buy as much as they used to be able to on Social Security benefits. To put it in context, for every $100 of goods or services that retirees bought back in 2000, today they would only be able to buy $60 worth. And yes, guys, the study reported that Social Security benefits have increased by 64% since the year 2000, but the annual cost of living adjustment, or COLA, that raises the benefit amount has not been enough to keep up with the breakneck pace of inflation, which in 2022, we had a record number of inflation alone, not even thinking about the prior 22 years before that. But anyways, guys, it says that in that time, the cost of goods and services retirees purchase have risen by 130%. That's more than twice the rate that benefits have actually increased. And now they're saying that, look, Social Security recipients as well as our seniors have pretty much lost about 40% of their buying power. But guys, it doesn't stop there, guys, because we just heard this week, we heard a latest report on the long-term projections of Social Security. This particular report came from the Congressional Budget Office, or better known as the CBO, and they just released this recent report of the long-term projections for our Social Security program. It says right here that according to the CBO's projections, spending for Social Security increases rapidly in relation to gross domestic product over the next decade as members of the large baby boom generation retire. That growth then slows as members of the generation die off, but spending continues to rise throughout the 75-year projection period because increases of life expectancy. Now, unlike outlaws, revenues for Social Security remain stable in relation to the size of the economy. And if the program's trust funds were combined, their exhaustion date would be in the year of 2033. Guys, do you realize that is pretty much in 10 years? They are saying that the amount of money that is in these trust funds for Social Security could be all gone, wiped away in 10 years. And that is because we don't have Congress, as well as the Biden administration, as well as any other administration, have Social Security reform. We have got to improve this program, which I will remind you guys that President Biden said that before he leaves office, one of his main goals of doing is to have Social Security reform, which hopefully will improve the system, which will change some of the laws and the policies that is written to provide money in these trust funds to provide Social Security benefits. President Biden said that that is one of the most important things that he wants to do before he leaves office. And guys, let's just face it, he will probably be leaving office at the end of this term, which he pretty much only has 2 more years. So as that relates to Social Security benefits, he only has 2 years to get this Social Security reform done before he leaves office. But anyways, guys, this is just the dire information that we have in regards to the long-term projections of the Social Security program, in which this program could run out of money within the next 10 years. Now, also earlier in 2022, we were told that the program pretty much will face insolvency by the year of 2035. However, now that information has changed. We just lost 2 more years in this particular program. And that is probably mostly because of the inflation rate that we received in the year of 2022, as well as our Social Security beneficiaries are losing much of their buying power. But anyways, guys, we are seeing articles like this right here from the Daily Signal saying that, look, benefits cut of 23% and 4 other things to know about the government's new Social Security projections. And again, it says right here that in contrast to the Social Security trustees' own projections, the CBO estimates that the Social Security combined retirement and disability insurance programs will run out of money 2 years earlier, 2033 instead of 2035, and that the tax increases necessary to fund scheduled benefits are higher than the Social Security trustees had projected, which 4.9 percentage points instead of 3.24 percentage points. Now, the divergence comes from different economic and demographic assumptions, of which the CBOs are significantly more realistic with. And the trustees also assumed only a 4.5% price inflation in 2022, which obviously they were pretty much off by 50%, because we saw price inflation in 2022 around 8 and 9%. And then they also projected for 2023 to only be 2.3%. And as we just crossed into the new year, those inflation rates are still above 8%. So yeah, guys, according to the old reports, they were completely off in regards to inflation. So now that they are having to adjust the report, which they just came out with it, they are finding out that they pretty much lost 2 more years of Social Security being insolvent. So again, guys, like I said, this is just the dire information that we have from the CBO. And yes, guys, this is pretty bad. Yes, our Social Security recipients, SSI, SSDI, VA beneficiaries, all of those individuals, including our seniors, are in for a rocky road. And hopefully President Biden and the Biden administration can do something about it. Hopefully they will get this Social Security reform done before his presidency is over in the White House. But anyways, guys, I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But feel free to check out some of the items down below, because it offers a great way for you to be able to support this channel, as well as some other links for some opportunities to give you some free cash, as well as some free money in your pockets, as well as how you can sign up for the Amazon Prime membership for free for 30 days. But anyways, guys, if you are interested, those links will be down below. But anyways, hey, if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.